You're listening to a 58 Ember production.
Howdy there, folks. My name is Audrey Jean Flowers, and welcome to the Completely Fucking Clueless podcast.
And my name is Sarah Alice Liddy, and we both use she, her pronouns.
Guys, it's been forever since we recorded an episode, the two of us.
Literally, I don't think I can remember the last time we were sitting on this couch doing this.
My guess was the episode before my birthday, but I could be wrong about that.
No,
but that was a fucking month ago.
I know. It's been so long. We've been testing out new formats, trying new things. It's been so much fun.
It has. But it also has made it so like we often hold back telling each other about things so that we can tell each other on the podcast. And so this has made it so I'm sure there's like at least 3 important things that I didn't tell you about.
Right.
Because
we
didn't record.
No, I know.
And then I forgot.
I have like a very big life update, which I'll get into, but like I can't believe that I haven't talked about it on the podcast because I feel like it's been like I've been doing this thing all this month and I'm just like, I can't believe that you guys don't know about
the
it.
Pops don't know.
It's crazy. It's so crazy. And then later in the episode, we're going to do a little bit of
on our toxic
That's it. I was like, what is the word again?
And we were going to do this like I feel like a month and a half ago at this point.
Yes.
But then it got delayed, which was good because it gave it time to add more stuff. But at a certain point, I had to stop adding stuff because I was like, this is going to make you just seem like a horrible, disgusting person.
I was like, everything I do is a toxic trait. Literally everything.
Though I was telling a coworker about it today and she was like, these just seem like kind of gross things you do / just like kind of quirky things you do. And I was like, okay, well, they can't all be like genuinely horrible things about me because that would be depressing.
It's kind of like the whole like brown flag thing because I heard like I think brown flags can be
like orange flag better than brown flag.
Okay.
Brown flag?
I don't know.
Brown flag to me means you shit your pants.
Like in one of those school bags, like those brown paper bags.
Oh no, I was just thinking.
That's what I'm thinking. Oh gosh,
sorry, I'm
dying.
I'm still getting over being sick a little bit.
No, I've heard brown flag.
I've never heard brown flag, but I don't like it because to me, if brown flag means like, hey, that little kid shit their pants.
Okay, so it's like
that's not a thing. This isn't a thing. This is just what my brain thinks of when I hear brown flag.
Okay,
brown flag means someone shit their pants.
The name of this episode should be like, toxic traits are orange flags.
Yes,
there we go. Our orange flags. Our orange flags.
Our burnt
orange.
Oh, what was do you remember that one meme where the guy's talking about loving a color and calls it something really obnoxious and the guy like, it's not whatever, it's orange, you motherfucker. It's like a meme that was popular like a decade ago, so
love that.
But it's a reference to the one where they design clothes.
What design clothes?
That reality TV show where they design clothes.
Oh, Project Runway?
Project Runway.
Oh my God. Wow. I love that I got that.
Yes.
Slay. Okay, you guys.
Before we get into not even the meat of the episode, before we get into any of the actual episode.
Into the episode.
We wanted to have a little quick chat.
Yeah, talk with you guys. You know, there's been a lot of things going on in our world, and we thought, like, you know, the best place to kind of talk about it was here because this is like our platform.
And it felt wrong to record and not acknowledge it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it also felt wrong to like just repost something on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's nice to have this platform to actually like say it in our own words and talk about it. So I am going to be looking at my phone just because we wanted to have it, you know, well thought out, not just like coming off of the brain. Yeah. Okay. So as we said to you guys, you know, before we wanted to get into things, we wanted to talk about what has been occurring in our world the last couple of weeks. We are extremely heartbroken for all the people who have lost their lives and those whose worlds have been turned upside down due to the events that have taken place. We sympathize for everyone out there who is feeling hurt and afraid.
There have been so many innocent children, men, women, and people who have lost their lives and their families, and it is devastating to see so many lives taken too soon. We, by no means, have the answers, as we almost never do.
No.
And we thought it was still important to say that we do not support or condone terrorism and the brutal killing of innocent people. But with that said, I really liked what SNL Pete Davidson, he hosted the other week, and I really liked what he said about how in the darkest times of his life he has turned to comedy, and I think a lot of us have. And so I hope that something in the next 40-ish minutes, I don't know how long we're going to record, makes you laugh or even just crack a smile, because the world's really fucking scary right now. So
Yeah.
much love to y'all.
Love to you all, and let's get into the episode. Okay, you guys. So the biggest life update that I have for you all, and it's so like 20s related, is that I have been apartment hunting in New York City.
Woo!
Which is crazy.
I was cracking up because Sarah had told me, like, we're probably going to move in the new year.
Yeah.
And then she told me that they started looking at apartments. And I was like, so you only start looking at apartments like probably max 3, maybe 4 weeks before you want to move. But 4 weeks is honestly a stretch.
Yeah. Okay. That's the thing, is that I didn't know this about there is so much that I'm learning in this process. And that is one of the things. But basically at the beginning of October, I was just kind of bored one night, and I was like, I literally was just bored. And so I had downloaded Street Easy, but I had never downloaded Zillow. So I decided to download Zillow, and I actually prefer Zillow to Street Easy. Just like the way that it's formatted, like, makes a lot more sense to me. So I get on Zillow, and I start seeing things, and I'm like, okay, this looks decent. And I'm sending them back and forth with Liz. And Liz is somebody I went to high school with. She's been on the podcast, and we are trying to move in together. And we're sending them back and forth, and I'm sending them back and forth to my mom. And my mom sends me this one apartment on the Upper West Side. And we're like, oh my God, it looks really good. Lesson number 1 I've learned. Things look so different in person than they do in those photos.
Absolutely.
Especially when it comes to the size of things. Like, they're all using 0.5.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking annoying. But this one, it didn't look that different. But like, just in a general thing I've learned is that everything looks so different from the photo. So if you like something, go see it in person. So I meet the realtor for this apartment that we really like. And instead of showing the apartment that we had requested to see first, she showed us another apartment unit that was available. And this one was a little bit above the price range. So I kind of like didn't take it seriously. Yeah. But like, my God, it was gorgina. Oh my God. The living space was huge.
Beautiful.
I remember walking in, and I was just like, holy shit, this is huge. It was so big and newly renovated. It was very nice. My only 2 cons about that first unit were the rooms were really tiny. And something that's pretty important to me is, and this may seem silly, is like doing my makeup and like having a little space to do that, because it is like very therapeutic for me. Like, I swear to God, those 2 hours getting ready to go out are more fun than the actual going out sometimes. Like, that is just my thing. I love it. And I wasn't going to be able to have that, but I was like, this apartment is so nice. Like, I guess, you give in
Trade-offs.
Yeah.
Compromise.
Yeah. And I
living in New York is all about compromise.
Literally. That's another thing I'm learning. It's all like, you cannot have it all unless you are like a millionaire.
Yeah.
And the other thing I didn't like about that apartment was it was on the 2nd floor. And so I felt like people could that was something.
See you,
yeah, that's something I've learned through this process that I don't like, is that if I feel like people can see me.
Yeah.
But again, I wasn't taking it seriously, because I was like, this is above our price range. And so we go and see the other unit that we had initially really liked, and it was kind of more disappointing in person than the photos. Like, the living space was really tiny, and I work from home like 90% of the time, so I was kind of like, am I gonna want to work in this really tight space? Also, like, the living space didn't really have direct sunlight. The sunlight was coming to the rooms, but also again, with the whole seeing thing, even though it was on the 6th floor of this building, it was directly in line with the courtyard of 2 museums. And so I didn't, again, and especially in the bedroom,
very seen.
Yeah, I was like, I just don't know if I'm liking this.
Yeah.
But basically, after seeing these 2 apartments, and my mom came and saw them with us, I'm just the baby. I need my mother's help. And so my mom was talking to my dad, and I think she also really loved that first unit. And my mom had always has been dreaming of living in this area too. So I feel like she's like vicariously living through me. And so she had talked to my dad that night, and full transparency here is, I am very fortunate that my parents are going to help me out in my move financially, just because I don't make that a lot of money. I make like an entry level salary, and unfortunately that is simply not enough to pay for a comfortable life in New York. Like it's insane. And so I'm very privileged and lucky to have their help. And so she had talked to my dad, and I think because she liked it so much, he was like, okay, like I'd be willing to give you a couple extra $100 so that you could live there. And I was shocked, because when I saw this place, I was like, there's no way like I'm living here, but it's cute to see it. And so I had told Liz, and we were so excited because we really liked the place. And so at first everything was going great. Like we sent in this security deposit that basically like secured our place in line for the apartment. We were the first people to do that. We're sending in the application. Like the real estate agent is talking, or realtor, whatever the fuck you call them, like was talking so positively to us. I was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. And like, guys, I was so convinced that we had this apartment that Amazon Prime Day was October 11th and 12th. I ordered everything imaginable. And honestly though, even though ruining the story, it didn't work out. I still got so much stuff for the apartment, like on sale, like TV, a lot of appliances, whatever. But we were so convinced that we had this place that we're ordering all of this shit because we think that we're moving like that
in a week.
Yeah, literally. And that's just how fast the process goes. Because
I looked at this apartment. I think I moved in a week later.
Yeah, and I think that's why it was so exciting, was because I just randomly started looking, and then it was like, oh my God, a week later I could be like living in this apartment that I love. And then at the last second, the realtor showed it to somebody else, and he came in and was like, gave a more favorable offer.
It's insane that, like, I know overbidding is a thing, but it's insane that in New York that has become a thing for renting. And like, I had a family friend who a similar situation happened with, but like that was in a more expensive place. Like, it's crazy that like even like
at this
again
stage,
nicer, like, but not insane apartments are still like you're getting outbid for rent.
Literally. Yeah, we went back and forth twice with him, and then he really like it would have been considerably more, and we do not have that money. And so it was so sad. I was like hysterically crying because I had just like started seeing,
you get attached.
Yeah, you get attached. You start seeing the next chapter and all these things. But I learned the two important lessons from this situation is, one, you cannot trust the realtor. Like, as much as they're giving you these positive vibes and energy, just like keep yourself at bay, because like this realtor was like, yeah, like sending you over the lease tonight, like all these things. And then it didn't end up happening. So my now process is like, okay, like even if you're talking positively to me, like
you never know what's going to happen.
Right, exactly. And then it's like, as hard as it is, like trying not to get too emotionally attached, but it is really hard, I think, especially like when you're excited. But all that being said, we've continued our search. We're very hopeful. And hopefully, by like our goal is to be somewhere by the new year, or be like signing a lease or like whatever, because what we do have is that we only live like 30-45 minutes outside of the city, especially from the area that we're looking in. So like we're flexible, like we're not like, that is a really lucky circumstance, is that we're not like we need an apartment now. So, and we're saving some extra money.
Slay.
Yeah, so that's like my big T. I felt like I was keeping a secret because like you guys didn't know, and I was like, oh my God, like we haven't talked about this. Yeah, but that's my biggest T. What's your biggest T?
Guys, I don't really think I have T. But
you know what your T is Audrey stayed out till 2 a.m. in the morning when so
I did.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something else.
Oh, no. No. I would never.
Sorry, guys. You can't know.
You can't know.
We're keeping a secret from you.
Yes, we are.
And you're never going to learn. Sorry.
And you're never going to learn. Guys, it's like late at night. I'm being silly goofy. But no, after the JP episode, because JP is one of our favorite bartenders, we made plans to go out with them after. And let me tell you, like we went out.
We started early and ended late.
Yeah, because I remember. So we after recording, we went and got dinner, and then we went to like Hen's for like one quick drink, and then we went to this other bar called Playhouse. And I remember saying to Olivia, like on the like walk there, I was like, you know, I'll be there for an hour and then I want to go home. I
Literally
think you
me.
said
Yeah.
the same thing. But you guys, it was
their show tunes night.
It was show
And they had
tunes
drag
night.
queens who were lip syncing to it, but then they would also have songs like play,
Yes.
and whoever could just get up and dance. And so someone ended up pulling me up, and we did a full dance. In which in the end they did a lift, and I literally said to them, "I'm kind of heavy," because for a moment they started to go and lift me, and I was like, "Oh no, 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 this is
I have
not
a
gonna work."
video. I have a video, and Audrey's face is just like,
But because I literally
you
was
have
like,
your arms at your side, and you're like,
I don't know this man.
Yes.
I don't know his name.
He was bold. He was.
And he goes to a lift, and again, I'm pretty heavy, and I've not done many lifts in my life ever.
No, I know.
So I was like, this is the moment I die. Not really. I wasn't
It
that
was
high
so
up.
funny, but it was so much
Fun.
fun. It just like made me like remember why theater can be so
Yes.
magical. Like I think we looked at each other at one point and we are like, oh, we have to come back. Like it was
Literally.
so fun. It was so much fucking fun.
I was still getting over being sick, and so I completely shut out my voice.
Oh
that night.
yeah, screaming, yelling, and then and I think by that point. Like it was wild, and then we go to Stonewall, which we had never been to before.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yes,
We did. And
We
there
went-
was another drag performance
and
there.
there was another drag
And this was a
performance.
Sunday evening. I mean, admittedly, Monday was off, so it was a long
It
weekend,
was
but still.
Indigenous Peoples Day the next day. So like, I had off. But yeah, I think I got home at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Mhm. I had my first, very mild on the second day, but I had my first 2-day hangover.
Those are a thing.
But yeah, I was out past 2 a.m. and I don't understand.
I know. I remember being like, "Oh my God, you're still here." I was shocked that I was still there.
Me too. I don't know how we boot and rallied. Like we didn't have Celsiuses or anything. Like
No.
I'm flabbergasted.
But I feel like the most fun nights, that is what usually
Yes.
happens. Is like it's usually
It's just
out of-
accidental.
right? It just accidentally happens. I also sprained my ankle that night.
you did.
Dancing
Re-sprained.
This is the 4th time I've sprained my right ankle.
Yours is also your right. Mine is my right.
Yeah,
too.
it is the
twins.
right. I actually went to the
It's
doctor today.
Basically like a year since I sprained my ankle at
The
Lizzo concert.
Yes. Oh my God. No. Yeah. It was crazy. I remember like it happened at the karaoke night. Somebody had pulled up Liz to do the Schuyler Sisters, and she was like, "Please come with me." And I was like, "I really don't want to do this, but obviously I'm not going to let her do it alone." So I went up, and he like spun me out, and I like burnt on my ankle, and I knew it the second I did it. I was like, I sprained my fucking ankle, and the whole night like it was definitely swollen in my shoe, but I was just like, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going.
Hey.
It was such a fun night though.
It was a very fun
yeah,
night.
what a night, guys. What a night.
So I turned 25. That's my
Oh,
big update.
yeah.
But that was now like a month ago. Because
Wow.
today's the 20th, maybe? Let's see. It's the 20th. Yeah, it's
Yes.
the 20th. So my birthday was essentially
oh
a
my
month
God,
ago.
we haven't talked about your birthday.
I don't think we have. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't remember what I say on these things.
Yeah.
Not really a me update. Congrats the WGA.
Oh yes.
They have ratified and come to an agreement with AMPT. Now, if the AMPT can just come to the table and have good faith negotiation with SAG-AFTRA, we would love that.
100%.
Boo AMPT, go WGA. I'm so proud of you. And I am personally so happy that late night TV shows are back.
Yes.
Because I have missed them. I watch them a lot. Like in the morning, they're a big part of my morning routine. And it's been really sad that they haven't been there. So I'm so happy that they really reached a fair deal. But the flip side of that is I follow politics and like what happens in the world decently well. And like I definitely do read the news and I look at other sources, but a decent amount I get from watching these late night shows because
Yes.
they cover the news. And so with them being off, I've definitely taken a little bit of a step back from keeping up with things the last few months. And now that it's back, I'm being reminded how fucking crazy our government is.
I know.
And I would say it's like especially a little extra crazy right now with the speaker role of them trying to find role.
Speak of the House.
Yeah, I
House
don't know.
of the
I said speaker role though. Theater bitch. And it's all really crazy, but it's just reminding me of like, ooh, the world is really just absolutely crazy. Our politics are insane, and to like keep educated as much as you can, keep involved. Like the local level is where you can make the most impact. So like try and keep up with your local politics. Like I now living in New York, I really am trying to engage more locally, and that like if you need to step away from politics for a bit, but part of what's happening right now is there's so much insane shit happening that we become numb to it. Like the fact that there's a former president that has multiple indictments against them is a fucking insane thing. The fact that the new Speaker of the House might end up being someone who still refuses to publicly admit that the last election, 2020, was not rigged, and that Joe Biden is our legally correct elected president is fucking insane. And it's fucking exhausting to keep up with, but we have to not let ourselves be fucking worn down and keep caring and keep noticing, like, hey, this is fucking crazy and you shouldn't be able to fucking do this. Yeah. Oh, and then I mean, the spooky season's almost over, but you still have a little bit of time when this comes out. On Amazon, a really fun, sort of goofy horror spooky season movie, Totally Killer. 10 out of 10 recommend.
Totally killer.
Yeah. It's great. And it has Claire Dunphy from Modern Family in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a spooky movie person.
I really like horror comedies, and this is a horror comedy. So I like when it's like dark but funny.
Dark but funny.
Hee hee.
Hee hee ha.
But yeah, so I'm 25. I'm not as freaked out as I thought I would be, but I also don't really let myself stew on it for too long.
Yeah.
My therapist said that she's starting to see my brain sort of settle.
Oh.
And I don't know if I agree. But okay.
Wow.
Also, I take vitamins now because I'm trying to take
Wait,
care of
which
myself.
vitamins do you take?
I take a bunch of them, some of which I'm not going to remember.
I take vitamin D. That's it.
I've started taking vitamin D because none of us get enough sunlight.
But let me tell you, so I started taking vitamin D at the beginning of last winter. Last winter was the first
especially with
winter
winter coming up. Yeah.
That was the first winter in I feel like years where I didn't feel seasonally depressed.
So I take magnesium, calcium.
Okay.
Maybe B. I take a lot of
B12.
Yeah, I take a lot of ones that are recommended for depression.
Okay.
But what, like the research that I did of like making sure that and if you take antidepressants and you want to start taking vitamins, make sure to go and research if there are certain ones that can conflict with antidepressants. So make sure to Google that. And also like there's certain ones that are recommended for depression unless you're on an SSRI, because otherwise you're at danger of like serotonin syndrome. So I'm not on any of those. I'm on like calcium, magnesium, vitamin D. I take some mushroom vitamin that my mom gave to me that's supposed to help with your immune system. I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't know. I take 5 of them, and I only just named like 3. So I take some others as well. I don't fucking know. But I put them in a little pretty thing, and I put them next to my meds, which have a timer to make sure I take them. And because it's pretty and it's a little bit fun, and I get to do a little thingy, it makes me take them. So do the little silly thing that'll make you actually take them.
And she throws them. And
I was really convinced actually it was going to hit something and it was going to open and spill everywhere. So I'm really thankful it didn't do that, because that would have been really embarrassing.
I've done that. Like, so for a while I had one of those things, and now it just like doesn't work for me. It actually works more. I'll take them more if I just have the individual bottles. And I have this like little like cosmetic case where I keep all of my medicine.
It's 5. 5 is too many for me to pull out every day.
Yeah. No, that's true. But I used to hate when I would drop that thing and they would spill all over the fucking place, and then you have to, no. It's the worst. I need to start taking magnesium because transparently, like being on semaglutide, I already have IBS to begin with, but it makes it even worse. So I'm going to the gastro soon.
Live.
Yeah, because growing up is having hemorrhoids, everyone. And I will say it. I'll say it on the podcast. It is annoying and it's painful, and I have them and I hate it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but hopefully my gastro will help me.
I don't have hemorrhoids, but do you know what I have had?
What, fissures?
I don't know what that is.
It's like a scraping your butthole.
Oh, kind of. I've gotten chafing in my butt crack before.
Yeah.
Like that's honestly one of the biggest things right now that holds me back from running is sometimes it chafes my butt crack.
Oof.
But nothing as bad as, so my sister rowing has gotten a really bad chafed butt crack, and she has showed me before, and it's haunting.
Ouchie.
Meaning I have also just seen my sister's full butthole. Do you want to hear a funny story?
Sure.
I didn't end up finishing it because I don't know. I went back to school or something. Anyway, my oldest sister for a while worked at a dermatologist practice, and so I started getting laser hair removal.
Oh yeah.
And I did armpits and like bikini line, and I think I literally did one session. So like I very much still have hair there. One session doesn't do really anything.
Yeah.
But because I wasn't a real patient, I hadn't been given information about what I was supposed to do beforehand. And so I hadn't shaved because I wasn't sure if I was supposed to. Should have Googled it. And so do you know what happened?
Did they have to shave for you?
My oldest sister had to dry shave my vagina for me.
Oh,
which,
not
you know,
dry shave?
Here's the thing. That didn't even bother me because it was my oldest
just your
sister
sister.
shaving my vagina at her place of work. And you know, we're now bonded in a way that we can never take back. My sister has shaved my vagina for me, so that's love.
That you know what? That is love. That is love. You know what? Oh, guys, I have a Clueless clear up. I wrote it down.
Oh God, I definitely have some of those. Let me look at my notes.
Yes, I have a Clueless moment and a Clueless clear up, but I'll give the clear up first. So, you know, having a big girl job means you get benefits, and one of the benefits I get is like 401k life. And so I didn't even know what a 401k was. I didn't even know there's a Roth account or a pre-tax account. I didn't know what they meant. And so I decided to go to this, like our company had this like thing with the company accountant, and she like basically explained what each account meant and like the benefits of each one and the cons, pros and cons. So now I know that there's a difference between a 401k Roth versus a pre-tax, and I understand like how much like I should invest of my money to get like the matching.
Yes.
But I was just like, I finished the session and I was like, wow, I feel so smart and educated.
Do you know what almost brought me to tears
What?
this week? So I've lived here for a while. You're supposed to change or clean your dishwasher filter pretty often. I've lived here for over 2 years. Haven't cleaned it.
Oh no.
And so I was all of a sudden like, it looks gross and I can't wash things in here anymore. And so I tried for quite a while to figure it out myself. I did the Googling. I found a manual. The manual said nothing about cleaning or how to do anything fucking useful. And I was like, you suck, manual. I looked at a lot of videos. None of them were quite the same as mine. And the one that was closest was a dude taking like a tool and going in and like popping something open. And I was like, okay, if I keep trying this, I'm going to fucking break it. So I reached out to my building and they did fix it for me. But I felt so, family was in Arizona. And so they were in a different time zone. So I just wanted to call my mommy and be like, yes. And I'm not kidding. I literally, it almost brought me to tears because I like just could not figure it out.
I hate that. I hate when that happens. Like when you feel like so frustrated because you're just trying to do something.
This is so simple. I should be able to do this. So my toolbox is literally still out for me, like opening it and just sitting there and being like,
it's not working.
So they came and did it for me. So I still don't know how to do it.
Oh, the people in the building?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I put in like a maintenance request of like, this isn't really maintenance, and like I would love to be shown how to do it because I don't know, and I don't want to break it, and because I'm pretty confident if I keep trying I'm gonna break it. I'm really sorry. And they also fixed my toilet seat, which has been broken for a while.
Gotta love
and again,
that.
I'm not complaining about them not fixing it. I just literally didn't file a thing to fix it.
That's the tea.
Oh, and I had to scrub my toilet really aggressively because I've also been having some tummy issues, and I was like, they can't see this.
Like they say on TikTok, all hot girls have tummy issues. All right. And that's the tea. And the thing is like I was thinking about this yesterday because so basically when unfortunately my body has constipated itself.
Love that for you.
My hemorrhoids will hurt more. Like it's just like this weird thing. But I was thinking to myself like the other day, like I'm in pain and I'm like, remember the good old days when you could just like go to the bathroom? Like what changed?
Like honestly not even because I had such bad stomach issues as a kid. I had to be on like a fiber supplement because something was fucked up about my body.
See, like it really just like turned for me one day during the pandemic. My body just decided to stop going to the bathroom, and then I went to the hospital because
oh my god, I remember this.
Yeah, because my parent I thought I had an appendicitis because my stomach hurt so much, and they were like, nah, you're just filled of shit.
Yeah,
you're just filled. And I had to do a colonoscopy prep, which was terrible. But yeah, ever since then,
shocking amount of friends who have had colonoscopies for the age that we are. I'm shocked at how many friends.
Right.
I haven't had a colonoscopy.
I haven't had one. I've just done the prep for one.
I've not had a colonoscopy, but back when I had a I'm saying this like you guys know this. My sophomore year of college, I basically got like at least one UTI every month for
Right.
months on end, to the point in which they almost put me on just a daily antibiotic, which is
Wow.
not good to do. But as part of it, or maybe it was for the kidney failure, I don't remember. I had to go to a doctor, and they did the thing where they stick the tube up your urethra and they want to see you pee, and they have you in a scanner. And guys, they had to just give up because I couldn't pee. They literally, like, I drank so much water, I had to pee so badly. They literally even went into the other room to turn on water. They left the room, like, did everything. We went for so long of them trying to get me to pee. I couldn't get my body to pee.
You know the time where
And I had to pee so badly. I literally, once they took it out, I had to fucking run to the bathroom because I had to pee so badly.
yeah.
But I couldn't pee in the tube.
the other time the only time I've ever experienced that, like having to pee so badly but not being able to go, is when I went and visited Olivia for the first time. Like, so I visited them in October. We had been talking since August, but the first time like we saw each other in person was that October. And I was so nervous and just like so like, holy shit, I had to pee so badly, but I could not pee for the dear life of me.
I like twice while stoned have like kind of forgotten how to pee. And I do eventually get to a point where I can pee, but like it takes me
so
like 5
funny.
minutes to figure out how to pee because my body it's only happened to me like twice, but I remember being like,
Is this it? Is this
I was
the
like,
end?
why can't I pee? And it was just literally like my body could not figure out what muscles to like do to pee, I guess.
That's so
I got there
funny.
eventually though.
See, okay, this is so funny.
This is turning into our pee poop episode.
I know, but
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but now I have to talk about this story too. So another thing that happens to me like every once in a while is like I'll suddenly have to go number 2 so badly, and I get on the toilet and it's almost like I'm gonna faint, and I start profusely sweating.
I burst an eyeblass one time pooping.
Oh my god, it's insane. It's like I will start insanely like dripping. Oh god, that was so loud.
You know those
sweat.
poops where you have to like fully undress?
Yes.
Like where it's too much and you can't be wearing clothes and you have to get full naked in the bathroom. I don't have those often, but like, you know those poops where you require being naked. Like you need your full body to like.
It's literally so scary when it happens because I'll just start like dripping sweat and I'm in there's so much pressure and I'm like, I'm gonna faint and die. Like, what is happening?
I have a sibling who like only poops every few days, and that's flabbergasting
me.
to me because I sometimes poop multiple times.
I know,
in
and
a
that
day.
is normal. I wish that was my life.
But she's always been like that. Like that's the thing, is none of her doctors think it's a problem because there's like, as long as you've been that way your whole life,
then that's your
then
body.
It's not an issue.
See, that's
but
not.
I'm like, where fucking is it?
No, that's not how I've always been. Like I remember in high school when I started drinking coffee like once a day. Now it's like twice a week. Like it's bad.
Damn.
Yeah, it's bad. That's why I'm going to the gastro.
Yeah.
But yeah, because the last time I went, I'm bad with medication. Like I was bad, but now I'm better. And what is it called again? Oh shit, now it's leaving my brain the name of the medication, but it's basically like a little bit higher dose of like a laxative, but it's safe. It's not gonna like, you know, because I know sometimes people can abuse laxative. It's not
One
like,
of my roommates, I literally watched her one time mix Miralax with wine because she was so constipated and she had to drink Miralax so often. She literally mixed it with wine. It was disgusting.
wow, that sounds like a recipe for disaster because every time I drink wine, okay, so there's a couple things that I will eat. Like Chick-fil-A, will always go to the bathroom after Chick-fil-A. Wine, always, like, right?
Really?
Yeah,
I don't
wine.
think of wine and poops.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Wine hangovers in college because guys, I was so bougie. My freshman year of college, I would drink like a bottle of Whispering Angels when we would go out. I'm not kidding. Like I'd have my parents.
I'd have a double bottle of pink Moscato.
Yeah, I'd have my parents buy me like these, like what? They're like
I love
12
this.
packs of Whispering Angels, and I would bring them out with me.
Slay.
And the next morning, oh my god, it was crazy.
Something that I had to go and Google because I was like, this has to be a side effect, is when I started Zoloft,
Oh,
my poops got kind of crazy. And they've evened out a bit, but I literally had to like go and Google it and check like, is this a side effect or like has my body just gone but no, it's a side effect. And I was like, as much as you can go and research them on your own, I really do think that like Your psychiatrist should walk you through more of the side effects because I, for the longest time,
100%.
yeah, I didn't know that like you're more prone to like heat exhaustion and overheating when you're on an SSRI.
Oh.
And I had genuine issues with that where I like vomited from overheating and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I just thought like, hey, my body sucks. And the answer was my body did kind of suck. But some of it was being on SSRIs, and you need to be more careful about that when you're on them. And I'm like, I feel like I know that I get the thing at CVS and I could read all of it, but I'm not going to.
No.
So tell me. Okay, y'all. So now we're going to get into our motherfucking toxic traits.
Toxic traits.
Slash just kind of our like cringe, like things we don't love to admit.
Yeah. This was funny. So I wrote down a couple things that I just like know about myself, and then I went to my partner.
I didn't ask anyone because I was like, I don't want to know. One time, like my sister kind of said something one time, and I was like, no, tell me. And she was like, well, I think that you use not weaponized incompetence, but something similar to that. And I was like, wow. And I was a little stoned, and I think she was on some sort of drugs at that moment, and that was too much, and I don't want to know that much.
Yeah, it was funny. I went to Olivia, and I was like, huh. And then I was just like, okay, cool.
I don't need to know.
Yeah. Okay. So the first one, and this is the one I put down because I think this is a toxic trait about me. So I have like, I'll be bold and I will DM you on Instagram or text you but unless I really feel comfortable with you, I will not respond. Or I'll leave you on like I won't read it for days because I'm so nervous about it. Like
I kind of get that.
Like
though.
I have messages like on Instagram that I will like reach out to you. I'll be like, oh my God, I love your shoes. And then the person will respond to it and I won't look at it. I get too anxious about it.
It'll take me sometimes a couple of days, but I get to it eventually.
Yes, I get to it eventually. But like, I think it's weird that like I reached out and said something, the person responded. And then
you become afraid.
And then I become afraid. It's so weird.
This definitely isn't my biggest one, but maybe it wasn't one of the ones I thought of first, but it's one of the ones that I've thought about for years. Because you know how Spotify Wrapped does Spotify Wrapped every year? I never share mine. And do you want to know why?
Oh, because it's embarrassing?
Yes. And do you want to know who's been my top artist for 3 years running?
Bo Burnham?
Yeah. Oh, she knows this because I've told you this before.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God. But
because every year when Spotify Wrapped comes out, I go and tell you about how I can't share. He hasn't come out with anything new since 2021. Also, he does sing and do music, but he's not like a singer. He's a comedian.
Right.
And
Olivia will listen to his music sometimes, and I say turn it on.
I know, but the fact that it's my top artist.
Yeah.
I do think part of it is I listen to very eclectic kind of random music. I don't consistently necessarily listen to the same artist. So I think part of it is just that I don't listen to any one artist enough for like any of them to really become
sure.
But that's also fucking embarrassing that Bo Burnham for 3 years has been my top artist, will probably be my top artist again this year. And because I watched a Mike's Mike episode on Glee, I've been listening to Glee again recently. So now Glee cast is going to be one of my top artists.
Glee music is so fucking good.
It either really hits or really doesn't.
Yeah, actually, yes, that's true. But I love Glee music. It brings me back to my little girl days of like loving theater and
the other
singing.
day when I couldn't get myself to clean or motivate, I literally just put on Say a Little Prayer for You on repeat.
Say a little prayer for you.
The moment I wake
up. And in that scene in there, before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you. Oh my God, so
amazing.
Good.
Fantastic. I also like how like there's a full chorus of background singers, even though there's only 2 of them.
Forever and ever.
Yes, an amazing song.
Oh,
an amazing
it's so
song.
good.
But that does mean I think unfortunately Glee cast is probably going to be one of my top artists this year.
Yeah.
Again, why I can never share it because mine is the most fucking embarrassing shit in the world.
My top artist for sure will be Renee Rapp.
Mine's gonna be Bo Burnham again, guys.
For sure. But the thing is, and I think the thing about me, like Olivia always calls me out on it, is because I don't like listen to a lot of music. Like I listen to podcasts more than I do music. But when I'm like listening to music, like I listen to the same thing like on repeat.
I basically create a playlist, and the playlists aren't even that big, but it'll be all I listen to for a couple of months.
Yeah.
So kind of whatever just ends up on there
Is what
I listen to.
Yeah.
And I will listen to that until I hate them and then make a
yes.
new one and start all over.
One of the things I like about Olivia is they're like a playlist person. Like they make playlists like every season, and I'm like, wow, that's so cute. Like, could never be me.
I only do it when I become sick of the music because I hate finding new music and I hate like learning new music because I don't like it when it's new. I like it when I've like heard it like 3 times probably. And I hate finding new music that I like, so I will listen to them until I hate them.
Yeah, I feel like that's how I feel about the Renee Rapp album. I remember when like the new album came out, and I was so excited because I loved her EP. Like I was really getting into her, and I remember listening to the album the first time, and I was like, wait, I don't think I like any of these. And then it took me listening to them like a couple times, and now like I'm obsessed, and I'm like, I can't believe I ever thought that way. But I feel that I resonate with that. Okay, I think this is an actual toxic trait. Like this is giving red flag energy. Is like if somebody has hurt my feelings or has made me feel some type of way where you should say something to them, I will not say anything. I avoid conflict and confrontation literally at all costs. And this has been at my detriment a lot of the times, and this is something that I've had to work on a lot, and I've continued to work on it. Definitely in my relationship it's gotten a lot better. If you guys remember last December,
when you broke up.
last December, January, when I came on this podcast and said I was single, and then reversed that a month later.
Flip it, switch it, reverse it, pop it, lock it, poke it on it.
Exactly. A lot of that was because I wasn't able to say what I was feeling, and I just like let it build and build and build and explode. And so I've been so much better and learned so much from that experience, and have been so much better about it in my relationship. But I think terrible at it with my friendships.
People like were really not taught good communication skills.
No,
at all.
Yeah.
And then, like I've gotten definitely better at it, but truly only because I have had to.
Yes, I feel like the same way. I feel like, especially like with you and Liz, I'm like, because we do this together, Liz and I are moving in together, I'm like, in order, like I will lose these friendships if I do not say something.
I've only started doing it with people where it was a situation of like, so we either have to talk honestly and communicate, or we're like it's not going to be friends ever again.
Yeah, like the amount of people who I've literally just like stopped talking to, like especially like when I was in high school, like you sort of knew, like my trademark was just like ghosting people, almost like just stopping our friendship. Which is
I
so
definitely
bad.
didn't do that with friends in high school. I was a huge pushover, but with like the one person I dated for like a week in high school, I dated 2 people, both of them for probably about a week. Definitely I think full ghosted. Particularly like I remember we had a class together and we sat next to each other in that class. And I had my friend come and take his spot, so he couldn't sit there, and just full pretend to ignore. And then the first thing that I actually finally did say to him is I congratulated him on his new relationship, which was a whole thing because it turns out he had been cheating on me in the 2 weeks we were dating. So not that heartbreaking, but it was like a whole thing of like him coming to terms with his own identity and ended up like hooking up with the guy. It was a whole complicated thing. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I just was like, we're going to pretend this never happened.
No, literally.
And I won't acknowledge you.
I'm thinking about it right now. I dated somebody in the 6th grade for 4 days, and I had a friend break up with him for me because I couldn't do it. I was like, and so my friend at the time broke up with him for me.
With the person I dated like briefly in the very beginning of college. And this is honestly probably one of the worst things I've done in my life. And I didn't really realize I'd done it until senior year. We hooked up again and I went back through our old texts and I was like, maybe I was a piece of shit. But so was he. So don't feel that bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, like it was a whole thing where like we were kind of exclusive and he hooked up with someone else at a party I was at, which I'm like, that is kind of insane to do. That
is so ballsy. Damn.
But we were also scene partners at the time. And so during the week I would act totally like cordial, very detached, normal with him. And then if I would get a little drunk, I maybe would text him. Yeah. Just like being a little like wanting attention. And then during the week, I would not acknowledge it, partially because I was usually so drunk I didn't really remember.
Yeah. You don't acknowledge, did it happen?
Exactly. And we ended up like hooking up briefly again senior year, which worked out poorly, but we did have a conversation of like both of us apologized for like, hey, we were really horrible to each other and I'm sorry about that.
Aw.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
What's another toxic trait you got? Oh no.
So sometimes if I drop a makeup brush, I'll set it aside to clean it. And then 6 months will go by. And then my brain just kind of decides it's been 6 months. I'll just start using it again.
Yeah.
A lot of these are just like, I realized like I'm kind of a nasty little goblin.
No, I am so I need to like that's one of the
I'm
things
getting better. Slowly.
That's one of the things I want for Christmas is I just want to chuck all my brushes and get new ones.
I cleaned all of my brushes, like thorough cleanse. Spent like a while doing it.
I hate
multiple rounds.
I don't like how it like I don't know. I don't like my hands getting all pruny. Like I fucking hate it, but my skin says I need it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that rhymed.
Well, it was also honestly the reason that it brought me to finally do it was that all of my eyeshadow brushes were so stained with other eyeshadows that I couldn't use them.
Yeah. I always use like the same sort of like crease color, so I was like, it's fine.
Because I randomly do colors.
Yeah.
They all start to blend and that doesn't work well.
Yeah, I feel you. This one's funny. Going the extra mile at work. It's not like I'm signing up to be there like school or camp. I have to make money to be there and to live.
Yeah.
I literally said that.
I do think that like there's a big rise of that in our generation, but I do think like a lot of it is because like you used to like stick with a company, and if you respected them, they would respect you somewhat. And like people would stay with one company for like their whole career.
Right.
And like when they retired, they would get a fancy gold watch. And it's like, no, they want all of us to be freelancers. They're trying to fuck us over as much as possible. Like,
literally.
I'm not giving you my sweat, blood, and tears because you don't pay me enough for that.
Right. I love where I work. And I say this, I'm going to preface this with this. I love where I work. I love the people I'm working with. And I do think that I do a really good job. And I've gotten feedback that I do a really good job. However, I think that, you know, when I reached that depressive episode in college and coming out of that, I have just learned that like I cannot give everything I do like 110%. And while I do really like my job and I think I'm a good employee, like I am not going to stress myself out and cry and all this shit. Like you said, you're not paying me enough for that. So like, you know, that's just my tea.
I do a good job, but like also I sell sparkly little pretty things. Stakes aren't that high.
Right. And I think like as I get older and I learn more and more about like capitalism and how much we are all being fucking gypped all the time and not being paid enough. And
billionaires existing is a fundamental failure of our society.
Literally. And everybody is like, you know, like all the things, like I think my Clueless moment that I had written down is like how much money like I am making like for my paycheck every 2 weeks, and then how much of that just gets ripped away from me because of taxes, because I need to put money in a retirement fund, and because of this, because of that.
I very much do support taxes. Taxes are necessary. We all
sure.
But do you know who should pay a lot more in taxes? Those fucking billionaires.
Yeah. I think I get frustrated sometimes, like as a 25-year-old trying to live. Yes. And I'm like, ugh. Okay. But yeah. And my next one I have here, Olivia said this is one of my toxic traits, is getting mad at people driving the speed limit.
Me too.
Yes. Okay. Because
in Massachusetts, like if you're not going at least the speed limit, you're kind of an asshole.
Right. Okay. So the thing is I specifically get mad at people who are driving the speed limit or under the speed limit in the fast lane. Get
like, what are you doing
your
here?
Ass out of the fast lane.
Do you know what really bothers me? I don't when people don't use their turn signals. I'm like,
oh,
it's
that bothers
so
me too.
easy.
So easy because I use my turn
it'll
signals
fuck you over
all the time. I'm like overly cautious with my turn signals.
Easy. They're right there.
I kind of think it's fun. Hit it. It's a little clicky. Right. No, I definitely got my dad's like road rage a little bit.
I remember. So I was so uncomfortable with my parents' road rage growing up, and my dad didn't really have it. My mom. Definitely more. But I would literally get so uncomfortable and I didn't understand it. And like literally like when they were driving and we get like angry.
Yeah.
Like I remember like just wanting to dive out of that car and not wanting to be there. And then I grew up and started driving and I was like, I fucking get it now.
No, I get it. Literally me today, guys, it was pouring rain and we had something before this. And so like I left early. Like I did everything I could to be there on time. And I was still 30 minutes late because of the rain. And because when it rains in New York and people are driving, people fucking forget how to drive. But yes, I do get mad at people going the speed limit.
Me too.
Yeah.
Here are two little baby ones. I kind of like love bombing, and I'm having to train myself to like be like, no, don't do that. That's a bad idea.
Bombing.
But like, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And the other one, this is so I feel really bad killing bugs. But now that I live alone, you know, I have to be a big girl and kill them. I have to use so much toilet paper, napkin, whatever, because I cannot handle feeling the crunch of their little bodies.
Yeah.
But then I apologize to them.
Before or after?
Usually after, because if I say it beforehand, they might get startled and run off, and I do still want to kill them. But
they're dead.
But you know, it's about the thought. I'm also horrible at making
so
returns.
fucking
Like
funny.
I literally have had to stop myself from like doing the thing where you order a couple and return one because it's like, hey, you're not going to, and that's what they're counting on it. And I literally have a pair of pants never even close to fit me, are never going to fit me,
That you have.
and I never fucking return them, and I don't know what to do with them now because they're like, I think Madewell jeans, and I wasted like $100 fucking dollars. And
No,
it's like,
I know.
you dumb fucking bitch, return it, particularly because in New York it's so easy for me. I don't have to go far or anything.
Right. No, same here. Same
And
with
I
my
won't
place.
do it.
No, I have a current stack. Okay, so maybe this is a toxic trait, but I love Abercrombie. I just think their clothes fit me well. And so instead of like getting money back when I return something,
Store credit.
I just
Free
get
money.
free
Free
money. So I just like continuously do that. And
Yeah.
right now I have like 5 pairs of pants that I need to return to Abercrombie.
Yeah.
Like it's insane.
I ended up having 2 spare backup possible options for birthday dresses. So remember how I said it's been almost a month since my birthday?
You got to get on that.
So I returned one of them this
Okay.
week. Aren't we proud of me? But the other one, they like don't do free return, so I have to go to like a mail place and I have to tell them the address I want to mail it to and do it myself. And that is so difficult and has made it so I'm never gonna fucking order from them again.
Yeah, I do not like that.
Particularly because like they have a couple drop off locations, but like it's only in like Georgia and California, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you should have at least one in New York.
In New York.
Anyway, so I'm trying to get better about that because I've wasted so
Yeah.
much money.
What I love about Abercrombie is, and I think Revolve does this too, is they put the return slip in the box. So all you got to do is like boom, bah.
Revolve, there are a lot of brands now that use like a company called like Happy Returns. Where like there's
Yes.
literally a Staples where I don't even have to package it
You
up.
don't
I
even
just
have to-
bring it,
yep.
I show them a QR and
they go do it.
which is great.
Yeah. Okay, this is a statement from Olivia. Justifying all of your toxic traits, because we literally were sitting down having a discussion about them, and there is a justification for each one of them.
So this is similar to what I would say is the only like genuinely probably toxic trait on the list. Because again, it would be a bummer if these were just all of our flaws as humans. That wouldn't be very fucking funny. But probably my biggest one is I am very good at rationalizing and justifying things.
Yeah.
Not really ever, or at least not. I don't think I often do it in a way that is hurting someone else, but it is in a way where I like am self-sabotaging and fucking over myself. Because I can come up with a rationale. And like I
For
do actually think
everything.
it's helpful for like acting work of like I
Sure.
can find a way to justify like
Sure.
I still brag about this, and this is context probably not going to make sense to you guys, but we did an acting exercise where I forgot even what it was called, activities. And
yes.
my activity was doing my makeup, and the teacher said like I've seen so many people doing their makeup, and I have almost like they were like I cannot think of a time where I've liked it and thought that it was well done and justified. And yours is like the one instance of someone doing their makeup where I think it was like well justified and actually worked.
Slay.
Yeah. Brag from like 6 years ago.
Humble brag.
Not a humble brag, full brag.
Full brag.
I still brag about my ACT scores, which is super lame of me. That's honestly a toxic trait. But I'm really good at justifying shit.
Wait, this one's funny. I said needing some sort of drink at every second of the workday, like a little drinkity.
Yes.
And then Olivia said, that's not toxic, just bougie. And I said, toxic for my wallet.
Fair. Another toxic one. I've owned both of Leah Michelle's books, which I would say.
Are they good?
I don't own. Okay, so I loved her first book. I don't anymore. Like 15-year-old me loved her first book. But I would say her
Yes.
first book mostly pictures. Her second book wasn't a book. It was a journal for you to fill out with some prompts.
Okay.
Not helping her case in selling that
In the
she can
reading.
read.
In the reading. Okay, so another one that I have, and this is something that I've actually really realized recently. So Olivia and I were talking, and they say, they're like, I love you, and I'm not saying this in a mean way. I love this about you. You're needy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
So am I.
And then I like
I
really
literally
realized
I tell people in my life, I'll sometimes just be like, I need attention. Give me
I'm
attention.
so needy. I literally said I hate being alone. Like there was one week where Olivia was sick and I was so bored and so needy. I got high 3 times that week. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm so needy. Yeah, so I'm needy.
This isn't a toxic trait, but it's a toxic want that I've said to a couple people. Probably shouldn't say on a podcast because it's something I say to people and they're like, that's bad.
Oh God.
I mean it mostly as a joke. Mostly.
Laugh funny.
Oh
gosh.
Okay, so I really like my family holidays. And so 2 of my brother-in-laws, one of them is from Serbia, so his family is obviously all there.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any family that lives in the States, so he does most of his holidays with us. Sometimes his family has come over and joined us. And one of my other brother-in-laws, his family sucks / is dead. And so I've said before,
I'm dead.
so I've said before, sometimes I've made the joke that I would love if whoever I end up marrying doesn't have a great relationship with their family, because I love my family's holidays.
Yes, you've said this.
Yeah, and I would love if we could just celebrate our holidays with my family. But the only way that'll happen is if their family sucks. So,
What if they have a good family and you enjoy celebrating with them though?
but I like my family's holidays.
Okay, but what if you guys can figure out a way to like
Here's the thing. Like, that's probably what it'll be, and it'll absolutely
Yeah.
be fine. But it's just like,
you like
I
your
really
holiday.
I love my family and I love my holidays.
Aw.
And like, yeah, they're just like really special. And like, I love our little traditions. And I'm sure they will have wonderful traditions that I'll grow to love. But there's a little toxic part of me that's like, but what if your family just sucks so we can spend all of them with my family? Because my
Right.
family rocks. Well,
Yeah.
they're also deeply flawed. But
I think like I agree with that. I remember like feeling sort of because in my past relationships before Olivia, like their families weren't like we'd always
Yeah.
do it with my family, and I always thought the same thing. Like I like doing it with my family, but now I actually really like Olivia's family too.
I'm sure I will. But like,
But mine's better.
exactly.
Is the tea. My last one that I have, and this is something I've struggled with for a while. It's a little deep, but I won't get too deep into it. Is needing external validation in work and relationships. Like I need people to tell me that I am doing like an amazing job to actually feel like I'm doing an amazing job.
I kind of feel like even with people who I know like me, I still, and I'm working on this, I've gotten better,
Yeah.
but I still about 10% of the time, I'm like, what if they secretly hate me and they're friends with me for some ulterior motive? I don't know what the ulterior motive is at this point because I don't have really fucking anything.
Our brains are so crazy. Like I feel like doing stuff like that to you because I'll think weird shit like that sometimes too.
And like I've just now reached a point where like probably my closest 15 friends, I don't think that about anymore. And I'm like, it's been long enough and they stuck
Right.
around enough. Like, okay, they're probably friends with me because they like me. But like it's taken until that was only a year, maybe year and a half ago that I was like, okay, my closest friends don't secretly hate me.
Wow. Our brains are so weird.
Bad brain.
Well, what? Oh,
I'm
you
gonna
got
quickly
another one?
speed through if I
Go.
have any more.
I gave you guys all mine.
It takes me 6 months to literally do something that takes 2 minutes.
I
I wait until I'm starving to cook. And I don't
and then
keep.
you're hungry.
Yeah, but I also don't keep snacks in my home because if I have snacks, I eat them. Even if I want food and I can cook food and I have time, I won't. I'll just eat the snacks. So then I never have snacks.
Dinner. That's like girl dinner vibes.
Ooh, this is more snobbery than anything, but this probably isn't great to admit. I am more likely to swipe right on someone if they have a good sounding job or they went to like a fancy sounding college.
Stop. That's,
And
such a normal thing.
I know, but like that is kind of a bitchy. And I'm way more likely to do it if someone went to Cornell specifically because
Cornell, that's
so
in the middle of nowhere.
But if they went to Cornell, only
Oh.
because I ruined like 6 generations of Cornell, and so my like family going back went to Cornell. So for some reason, whenever I see it, I'm like, they're
Are you
Cornellian.
kidding
They're
me?
good.
I think one of my favorite things about like when people ask me about Olivia, I'm like, yeah, they're going to Columbia.
Yeah, like it's
because
just
like
it's a little hot.
because they're going to Columbia. I'm going to Columbia.
The last one is I just turned 25 and 24-year-olds already disgust me. I got excited about a free Ziploc bag the other week.
Just a singular free Ziploc bag?
I forget what the situation was, but I got it's because my aunt had given my sister and I frozen pumpkin bread.
Yes,
and I finished one of them, so then I got a free. That's not toxic, but just about turning older. And yeah,
just one Ziploc bag.
Just generally my whole Spotify is just bad.
Problematic.
Bad. Anyway,
I love
this. Has been a long, well, actually not that long of an episode.
I love this. That was really fun. It was fun to think of like my toxic traits, because at first I had a hard time, but once I started rolling, it started coming.
I at a certain point had to cut myself off.
Yes.
And also, guys, I'm going to be honest, there were some that I thought of and I was like, I'm not going to write that down because they were a little too like
real.
Think of the either too real or like think of the makeup thing and then think of like 3 things grosser than that. Like 3 steps grosser than that.
Oh no.
And I was like,
gross shit.
I'm not going to admit to that shit.
I love that.
Maybe once someone pays us to do this, I'll admit to it.
There we go. Well, it is nearly 9:00 and we're going to sign off from you guys.
Have a sexy little week.
Yeah. Have a great week. Have an amazing Tuesday. And wait, we didn't even plug our socials.
Go follow us on the social media.
Yeah.
You can find it.
You know where to find us on Instagram at Completely Fucking Clueless.
And on TikTok and YouTube at Completely FCKING Clueless.
Woohoo. Please rate and review.
Subscribe.
And
like,
follow.
Send.
Do
We're
it all.
kind of tired at this point.
Please. Okay, you guys. Have an amazing week. Have an amazing Tuesday. And don't forget to be motherfucking clueless.
Hags. Have a great summer.
Hags.
Have you ever heard that?
No, I know, but it's October.
I know. I just felt like saying it. Anyway, kisses from London.
Bye, guys.
This has been a 58 Ember production. For more shows, please visit the 58 Ember channel, 58ember.com, or find us at 58 Ember Media on socials.